Hey friends, my name is Jackson and welcome back to my channel, Gender Not Found. I just yawned a second before I turned off the camera, so I found the perfect time to do it. So as soon as I was done yawning, I felt the yawn coming, so I didn't turn on the camera, and then I yawned, and then I turned on the camera right away. And, yeah, there it is again. So anyway, I'm recording this a little bit early because I want to, because I'm really excited about this video. I'm really loving the whole, Reddit videos, especially Best of Redditor Updates. This is really fun. I'm having a lot of fun with this. Actually, I'm gonna go on and do some other recording later, but, I wanted to do this first before I get to anything else. So, anyway, this is planning to be my longest Reddit video yet, and it's gonna be, probably at least 2 hours and maybe up to 3. So I can see my tarantula from where I'm sitting. I just spent like 20 minutes fiddling around trying to apply to the Real Canadian Superstore online, and someone told me to go. There's this guy that works at the Real Canadian Superstore that's really nice, and he told me, they have this big sign out front declaring that they're hiring currently, and they were voted they were voted in 2022 for the best diversity hires or something, or most diverse hires or something. I don't know exactly. I forget exactly what the award's called, but it was something about diversity hires. So seeing that was really incredible. I can't. I can't stop yawning. Anyway, I can't stop yawning. Anyway, so it was something involving diversity hires, and they also have a ton of benefits that they're declaring outside, like health and like dental and health insurance and stuff, and various other things. I don't remember all the benefits just off the top of my head, but my mom did send me a picture. Hang on, I'm trying to find the picture that my mom sent me, and maybe then I'll be able to see, I can't remember if she sent me through email or if she sent me on Facebook or something. Hang on. I'm gonna try and see if I can remember where I got that from. Oh yeah, Zellers is returning to Newmarket. They're gonna have a pop-up at Upper Canada Mall. Okay, I don't think they're bringing back the Zellers Diner, which sucks because I really, really loved the Zellers because I really loved the Zellers Diner so much. When I was a kid, I loved eating there. Oh, my mom actually sent me this list of interesting jobs, but my plan is to apply to the Real Canadian Superstore. I go there all the time anyway. Um, I go there all the time anyway, so and it's like a 10% discount on food and stuff. So just buying my regular groceries, let's say I spend like $80 a week. That's $8 a week that I'm gonna get to save. And I know it doesn't sound like much, but if you add it all up at the end of the month, that's like 8, 16, 24, 32. Yeah, that's like $32 that I save in all. Anyway, and sometimes I spend a little more than that. So either way, sorry, I'm just trying to find out where the picture is that my mom sent me. Ugh. I also had a video chat. Um, I also had a video chat with my family yesterday because my mom is visiting my cousins and my uncle right now. That's where she's been the last week and a half. And she's coming back tomorrow. So I'm really, really excited about it. I'm just trying to find the thing where she sent me the picture. Oh yeah, and also I'm paying for my own Ubers. I mean, I'm not paying for my own Ubers. I just set up my card because currently it decided that it won't let me use my mom's card anymore. Oh, okay, here we go. Yeah, we offer a 10% colleague discount. So if I'm working there, I'll get 10% off of whatever I buy, no matter what I get from them. So, health and dental benefits, $250 for a friend program. Ooh, wait. Does that mean does that mean that Margaret is gonna get the two is gonna get $250 for referring me? Because one of the reasons I'm applying is because there's this really nice woman that works there that I know really well that is always super sweet to everyone, and I asked her if she would give me like if she would say some good things about me if I applied. That's what I'm gonna bring in a resume tomorrow, and I'm gonna tell them because I can't figure out a way to apply online. Canada's Best Diversity Employees. That's what it was. Oh, Canada's Best Diversity Employers. Never mind. So that is really amazing because one of the hardest things about finding a job is that I have like all these special needs. Like I have autism, obviously, and depression and other shit. So like obviously, yeah. So $250 refer a friend program. I'm pretty sure if Margaret says some good things about me, and if I tell them, actually, I'm going to tell them specifically that she referred me so that hopefully she'll get the $250. Anyway, so $250 refer a friend program, which I'm pretty sure means that since she referred me, that if she says good things about me, if Margaret says good things about me, she's gonna get $250. Regular wage increases, flexible schedules. So this is all really great. I just have to make sure that when I'm working like monthly, if that I don't make more than $1,000 monthly. I have to be making less than $1,000 no matter what I do. Like, no matter how much time I'm working, I have to make sure that I'm making less than $1,000. This is supposed to be a part-time thing to scrape together a little extra money, and I have to make sure I'm making less than $1,000 because I but because otherwise they're gonna cut off my ODSP and I need that. So I have to make sure to let them know that I have like a cutoff, like a $1,000. This is my cutoff. I'm pretty sure it shouldn't be any problem making less than $1,000 monthly, but if they keep if I do get the job and they continue increasing my wages, eventually it could be approaching that point where it's getting dangerous for them to keep increasing my wages. I'll just make sure I let them know about that and make it very clear because my my disability is what's keeping me afloat right now. Like this is supposed to just be a part-time job to bring in a little extra money for like extra things during the month so I can like pay for so I'm not struggling to pay for things around the house or like clothes when I need them or whatever. So I'm gonna apply, and actually by the time you guys see this I might have already applied and maybe even already gotten the job. Like I'm not holding my breath for anything, but this seems like a really good option because not only are they Canada's best diversity employers, which remember the guy I told you about who was nice to me and told me how to apply to the job. He has Down syndrome, I think. He's really sweet. He's like he's one of those coat guys. He's a I think it's called a coat wrangler or something. Anyway, but he's really nice and he told me how to apply for the job even though it's not working. So I'm just gonna bring in my resume. I'm going to the store tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday. My mom's taking me to the store. So we're doing our usual 6 hours. My mom's getting home like really early tomorrow morning. Like I'm pretty sure like 3 or 4 in the morning because Seattle's ahead or behind a few hours. I think I think Seattle's behind. I don't know. I can see my tarantula just barely if I look over to one side. She's so sweet. She's kind of like hidden behind the water dish, but if I look just right, I can see her and see her little bit of fuzz poking out. Alright, let's get started because I really want to. I have a shit ton of stories saved, and I have a lot of stories saved. And since I saw you guys, I actually saved a ton more stories, so we're gonna read them. And this is gonna be a super long video. So I'm planning for this to be at least 2 hours. and maybe up to 3 hours, but if I want to keep going, I might just keep going. So, this is one that I heard from R Slash, and and he and his title of the video was "My Teacher Wants to Adopt Me." And when I saw that, I thought it was gonna be like an incredibly creepy situation where like the math teacher wanted to adopt him for some reason. That like the math teacher wanted to adopt OP, but then he just ended up like it was gonna be something super creepy. But I'll just I'll read this to you guys and let you guys figure it out. So they're all not all of these posts are not from the original poster. So should I ask my math teacher to adopt me? This might be kind of a confusing story, and I debated posting this, but decided why not. So I, male 15, and my math teacher, who I will call Vicky, is female 35, and her husband is John, male 40. My real parents are, or were, abusive alcoholics and drug addicts. They got arrested last year, and I was going to enter the foster system. Now I had already told Vicky about my struggles with my parents, and I confided in her about me going into foster care, so I guess she jumped in, and her husband somehow became my foster parents. I absolutely love living with them, and I feel like I have a true family for the first time in what feels like forever. I really want to adopt. I really want to ask them to adopt me, but I'm unsure of it. For one thing, I'm incredibly nervous and very unconfrontational. And second, I know the foster system gives people money to take care of the child. So maybe they would be better off just staying foster parents. Also, they already make quite a bit as my foster dad is a doctor. I just don't know what to do. Could anyone please give me advice? And most of the commenters tell OOP to go for it, and at the very least tell them how much he loves living with them. So, I obviously this isn't the original post, so I can't really read the comments and judge the comments on that, but apparently most of the comments are telling him to go for it, which I think he should. I think he absolutely should. Also, this is concluded, so all of this stuff has already happened, but I'm just giving my opinion so far anyway. But this is a really awesome and sweet thing. And the way he says, I know the foster system gives people money to take care of children, so maybe they would be better off just staying foster parents. That is like, sorry, there's some construction going on outside my window or something, I think. Anyway, that's like really self-deprecating and shows very low self-worth. Hope the construction outside the window isn't distracting. Anyway, and then there was an update. They said yes! With like a billion exclamation marks. I finally get to have my happy ending. It was a very emotional moment, but honestly, I'm so happy I get to have a real mom and dad. Thank you everyone who responded. It meant a lot. That is so great. I'm super happy that. I was about to say this. Wait, I missed something. Hang on, go back up. A real life Matilda. We love to see it. I was about to say this. This story is so freaking sweet. I really hope everything works out well for them all. He found his Miss Honey with bonus dad. That's really good. That's awesome. I love that. That's a super sweet story. Super short, but so sweet. Alright, so this next one originally came from relationship advice, trigger warnings, abusive behavior, and threats of suicide. Oof. So if you don't want to hear that stuff, then skip ahead. I, 38 female, and am in a new relationship. 51 male, and his texts are starting to concern me. I just want to say, I don't judge people off the age difference. As long as they're both consenting adults to the relationship, it's fine. Like, so many people would see that age difference and be like, oh no, what the hell? Why would you date someone that's 13 years older than you? But, like, I don't see the point. I mean, The thing that concerns me here is that she says her texts are starting to concern me. Even if they were both 38, if that was the title, I would still be freaked out. But if she just said I am in a new relationship with someone who's 13 years older than me, then I would just assume then I would just be like, oh, okay, well, there's a little bit of an age difference. So what? Because it's stupid. It's ridiculous to care about like an age difference. As long as, the as long as they're both consenting adults, but as long as they're, I don't know, 18 or 19 or whatever the legal age is in their country at least, and then, whatever. But as soon as you turn like 18 or, I don't know, 21 or whatever the legal age is in your country, then I don't know. I just wanted to bring that up because I think it's stupid how so many people immediately look at an age difference and they're like, "Oh my God, why are you dating someone so much older than you?" They're like immediately alarmed by the age difference when it's like, okay, there's an age difference, so what? Anyway, I'm gonna go on and read this, and this came from relationship advice originally. My current boyfriend and I have been together since February, and we've had a few arguments, but generally things are good. What I can't wrap my head around are some of the text messages that he sends me. They come out of nowhere and feel a little nuts to me. I don't know if I'm the one being a jerk here, but I don't know what to make of them. I've told him it puts me off, but he doesn't seem to hear me. This is an example of one he sent today after he video called at lunch. I answered, but he hung up and wouldn't answer when I called back. I left a message saying I guess he didn't have service and couldn't answer, but just call back if it's important. His reply was, "What would be the point in answering after seeing you are dressed, makeup on, and hair done? That tells me you have been up for hours, and in that time I guarantee that your phone isn't has been in your hand has been in your hand a lot, and never once did you have the desire to want Never once did you have the desire or want to call or text and say, hello, good morning, I love you, or even fuck off for that matter, and that makes me feel like shit to be real honest. So I didn't answer. Are you kidding? 5 minutes later, I got this, and because you still have nothing to say, that just tells me I was right. See, the texts are the concerning part, not the age difference. Because if it was just an age difference, but their relationship was going great, a lot of people would still be like, well, you shouldn't date someone so much older than you are. And it's just ridiculous. But no, I'm worried about these texts. This kind of thing is getting more frequent. I feel like it's kind of excessive, but he says it feels like I don't love him. I don't know how to respond honestly. And then there's a mini update in the comments the same day, which is June 22nd, 2023. I'm taking the advice here and ending it. He sent me another message that just doubled down on the crazy and aggressive, so I'm done. You guys are right. He moved in with me about a month ago, and I'm real nervous about having this conversation with him in person, so I just packed a bag of all my important stuff, and I'm going to go stay with a friend. I'm sending him a message that he has until Monday to move out. There are some extenuating circumstances that make giving him a 30-day notice unnecessary. I didn't really know what else to do, but I've seen him get angry before, and I don't want to be at the receiving end of that. I just have to say, if all this shit was happening, and if I was the woman in this position, I would not be okay, like, telling him he has until Monday to move out and letting him continue knowing where I live and just, like, and then moving back in when he knew where I lived instead of, like, I would just move somewhere new. I would figure out a new place to go because I would be scared. Especially, I mean, this may just be me because I have kids and pets that I have to protect. I have a family to protect that I have to look out for. Like, one of my biggest fears is either a natural disaster that I can't save my kids and pets from, or like someone like breaking or like letting the wrong person into my life and then they know where I live and they come and like do something to the kids. I mean, I'm not saying that people would just I don't know, it freaks me out anyway. So, but I would not be okay having that guy know where I live. Update edit on the same post. I packed a bag, my laptop, gun. You have a fucking gun? Dude, what the hell? We're not even allowed to have, like, pepper spray in Canada. Like, I was actually looking up a few weeks ago, like, how to get pepper spray or where to buy pepper spray. Turns out it's illegal to carry pepper spray in Canada. You can't carry pepper spray or, like, any other protective stuff. You can't have that kind of protection in Canada. There's no concealed carry permit or anything, and you can't carry mace either, or, like, anything like that. I packed a bag with my laptop, gun, important paperwork, etc. Most of my stuff is in storage because we were supposed to move at the end of the month. I didn't want to leave him there, but his text got really ugly when I told him it was over. I feel a lot safer at my friend's house out of town. The barrage of texts have gone from nasty to desperate to accusing me of lying and never caring about him, to him taking photos of gifts he supposedly bought me. Yeah, love bombing. Love bombing. I know how that goes. Gosh, that is one of the stages of abuse. So if someone is love bombing you, especially after you've said something like, it's over, or I don't want to be with you anymore, or, I need a break from this relationship, stuff like that, and then he starts being like, oh, look at all this stuff I bought you. I'll give you anything you want. That's love bombing. That's one of the stages of abuse, and you should not fall for it. Trust me, I was in an abusive relationship. My mom lived in an abusive relationship. I grew up in an abusive home. Trust me. Anyway, so have they've gone from nasty to desperate to accusing me of lying and never caring about him, to him taking photos of gifts he supposedly bought me, to threatening to hurt himself and me. Ugh, those are the worst. Apparently I'm not giving a shit about you, but not giving a shit about it, but here I sit trying to fucking talk to you and work this fucking thing out because I care more about you than I do the lies. I love you, D. Why can't that be enough for you? I'm so done with this bullshit. It's probably going to be hard trying to get him out of my life, but I'm saving the texts and going to at least try to get a protective order tomorrow. Thank you all for your comments. They reaffirm that his behavior is unacceptable. I think I kept adjusting to a new normal every time he would do something that was off but not quite bad enough to break up over. We had endless talks about his behavior, and he was very good at reassuring me he'd work on it and then being the best boyfriend imaginable. Again, love bombing. That is how that works. It's like he's two different people, but I'm positive the nice side is an absolute lie. Now, after some of the stuff he said, I'm safe for now and definitely won't be going home without an escort. To answer the questions about why he moved in so quickly, we've been good friends for 5 years and he never once acted like this. I thought I knew him pretty well, so that's why I gave him the benefit of the doubt for so long and let him move in. When he proposed, it was so romantic and he was so convincing, I got a little swept up in the idea that it was real. Yeah, exactly. That's like one of my biggest fears in life, letting the wrong person in again. Like, this is why I have trust issues. This is exactly why. And also just growing up in an abusive home and all of that stuff, like, it's messed up. Anyway, so yeah, but you should definitely get some kind of protective order or restraining order or something. That's exactly what my mom did after the whole thing happened with my dad. She got a restraining order. Ugh. OOP responds to a comment 6 days later asking if she's okay. June 28th, 2023. I'm doing much better. I ended up getting that book that somebody had recommended here called Why Does He Do That? And it was pretty eye-opening. I think it's usually fairly easy to recognize abusive behavior that is overt, but some people are so skilled at getting their hooks in and wearing you down slowly over time that it can be hard to recognize the more subtle things that make you feel bad. The thing that really got me in that book was when he said you don't abuse people that you respect, and you don't respect people that you abuse. He also said that abusers are not unable to change, they're unwilling to change. Those statements were so direct and to the point, and they completely trashed the idea of, oh, he's just been hurt before and he doesn't really mean this, or whatever excuse they give you. It also makes that idea of, well, he just needs somebody to be good to him. That's absolutely ridiculous because that's not true, and it's a mental trap that's easy to fall into if you're the fixer type, which is exactly why I cut my sister off, because I kept trying to, like, make things better and fix her life, and she just kept abusing me, so it was not okay, and I was done. There's nothing you can do to help somebody change like that, and it's nothing you did to make them act that way. Yeah, exactly. There was this joke I really like that I heard first in BoJack Horseman, it's like, how many psychiatrists does it take to change a light bulb? And the answer is only one, but the light bulb has to want to change. So yeah, if a person doesn't want to change, then they won't change. It's as simple as that. They're not going to change. The only person who's going to change is you, and it's not going to be for the better. We are still broken up despite his barrage of texts and calls. I eventually just blocked him, finally, because even though at first I wanted to know in a roundabout way where his head was at, just so I didn't have any surprises per se, but it was too much and I just had to block him. Thank you so much for asking. That means a lot, even though we're just internet strangers. It's very kind of you. And then there's a reminder that they're not the original poster. Let's read some of this. Yeah. And never once did you have the desire to want or call, to text or say hello, good morning, I love you, or even fuck off for that matter. If they didn't live together, OOP should have texted back, fuck off, and blocked him. That would be the perfect response. The 5 minutes later edition reminds me of so many comment replies I've gotten from disingenuous Redditors who were mad that I didn't reply to them fast enough because I was working or sleeping. This man is like a real life Reddit troll. I know, what is wrong with people who are like, oh, you took 30 seconds to answer me back, well, fuck you, I hate you. Like, why does... people don't get that we have lives and we do other shit despite just being, instead of just like being on the internet or staring at our phone waiting for a comment or whatever. It's so stupid. Yeah. I hate people so much who get angry if you don't get a reply fast enough for them. Like, I'm at work doing my job. Do you know how that works? I can't be on my phone every second when maybe I'm home, but just didn't notice my phone buzzing. I also have this thing where I'll see a message, but then I just don't have the capacity or need to reply to it. Like, if I get a message from a friend or a family member and I see the message and I'm like, I do not wish to reply at this moment, so I just don't. And, my family and friends get that because they get how I am, and it doesn't help that I have depression and all sorts of, mental health shit going on. I it's just pretty messed up. And then people get mad at you if you don't respond to them in like a couple of minutes or whatever because you're just going to reply immediately unless, it's an emergency, like someone is in the hospital or asking me to reply to you immediately for non-urgent things is the quickest way to ensure I will not reply to you. I don't know exactly why, but it just makes me angry. It makes me angry too because they're trying to dictate how I spent my time, who and how I prioritize, and basically telling me I must jump when they say so. Yeah, no, they can fuck off. They can fuck all the way off with that shit. Alright. I think I'm ready to move on to another comment. And this one is kind of fucked up. My 22 male wife, 34 female, broke my arm. Again, this is another one with an age difference. Where people would see it, where people see the age difference, and then they're like, oh, why are you dating someone who's like... Okay, there is a trigger warning, physical and emotional abuse, grooming, threats of self-harm. So if you don't want to hear that, then you should probably skip ahead. I don't give, like, timestamps in my videos, so, I don't know, 10 minutes ahead or something? I don't know, but you can probably find it. Anyway, so, the original was posted June 30th, 2023, and it's from Off My Chest originally. These are all posted in Best of Redditor Updates, but then it tells you where the original post came from, so I just tell you guys. So, my 22 male wife, 34 female broke my arm. My wife and I have been together for 8 years. 8 years. Hang on. 8 years, 14, and she was 26. I always say, as long as they're both adults, but they were not both fucking adults. They were not both adults. This is incredibly fucked up. Okay, so just from the title, I knew this was going to be a messed up story, but the fact that they've been together since he was a teenager and, that's gross. Ooh. Oh, that makes me feel so uncomfortable. Okay, they've been together for 8 years, married for two. We have a 3-year-old daughter together. Oh gosh, no, why? Oh gosh. Well, now I get where the grooming trigger warning came from, because obviously she groomed him because. Ugh. My wife can be verbally aggressive and angry when things don't go as she wants. Usually it's a flash in the pan. She'll calm down quickly and be apologetic. A lot of the time, she is kind, loving, a wonderful mother. Last night, though, we had a row about my job. A row is like a fight, basically. An old friend from school has joined my team recently, and we've been catching up. I'm on, my wife wants me to quit or get her fired. I repeatedly told her no. She had been drinking, and she slammed the kitchen door on my arm. I went to the hospital and was told it's broken. Ugh. As someone who's had a broken arm recently, I felt that. I fucking felt that. Ugh. Like, when she said, like, I didn't break it by getting it slammed on something and nobody broke it purposely. I ended up tripping and falling in the Costco parking lot. Not in the parking lot, but like on that concrete in front of the store. And then I actually broke it, and also it dislocated my elbow from like my upper arm, which was the thing that really hurt because I remember they had to put me under anesthetic so they could pop the thing back in. And then when I woke up, it was just like a dull pain coming from my arm. I mean, it still hurt, but like when I first got hurt, I was literally crying and screaming so hard. Anyway, I just wanted to say, like, as someone who's recently had a broken arm, I know how that feels, and gosh, oof, that is not a fun experience. Not a fun experience. Even when it's not someone you thought you loved doing that to you. I'm angry and upset. I didn't go home, stayed at a hotel, and intend to do so again tonight. She's been spamming my phone with texts and calls saying she doesn't know why I left. It's like she doesn't remember. Edit. Wow, I wasn't expecting this level of engagement. The ages are right. I was 14 when we met. Had a lot of fucked up family dynamics and essentially grew up alone. She was 26, worked close to school, and would talk to me each day when I came in. She asked me to stay and talk to her one day when I was upset, and it's gone from there. I've arranged to stay with a friend for a bit. I'm going to a house later. I'm going to the house later to check on my daughter and pack some things. I've asked that she be out of the house. Her brother will be there. And taking on board what people are saying, it never felt abusive until the other night. Edit 2, what little one is now staying with her grandparents on my wife's side. They're aware of what happened and are not going to let them be alone, but until I'm more settled, they won't let me take her. I'll get it sorted. She needs safety, and I do too. Please, please fight for full custody. I know all this shit has already happened, and there's more updates that I'm going to read in a second, but like, this is so fucked up, and you need to. I really hope that you get full custody of your daughter, because if she's willing to do this shit to you, oh my god, this makes me sick thinking about this 3-year-old girl living with. I have. My youngest is 4. She's 4, and I. It makes me sick. It makes me sick. So the update comes a couple weeks later on July 16th, 2023. Update. So, I thought I would post an update about what's been happening. Firstly, thank you to everyone in the original post who opened my eyes. One person mentioned that I likely didn't have an idea of what a healthy relationship dynamic was like, and they were right. Yeah, me too. Me too. Well, me too, dude. Like, I also do not know what a healthy relationship is like because I didn't grow up around that shit. I grew up around assholes. I grew up in a broken and abusive family, knew that wasn't right, but didn't know what the alternative was. She took advantage of that and made me feel she was the only one who would love me because of how broken I am. I know that's wrong now. We are now broken up, and I now have me and my daughter full time. Thank God. I was so scared for this little girl. I've taken time off work to help her adjust, as all of this has made her start to be really clingy. Thankfully, my boss and team are really supportive. I've let my now ex-wife know I want a divorce and made it clear why. The night I told her, she blew my phone up with messages and threats to harm herself, things that worked on me before and came close to again, but I told her playing the victim won't change my mind this time and turn my phone off for the night. Oh my god. This is so sick. I haven't filed a restraining order or pressed charges yet. I'm still processing the knowledge of what our relationship truly was. She made me feel special for the first time in my life, and I fell for it. It's very hard not to blame myself. I have an awesome group of friends around me who have offered help. Once Mia is more settled, one of my friends, who is a part-time nursery nurse, has offered to look after her during the day. We'll be able to make it work. I'm contacting my ex-wife's parents only when I have to, as I'm recognizing some attempts to try and harm me through Mia, and I won't let that happen. Mia is my world. She's laughing more, sleeping better. She used to get scared because if she was too loud, my wife would snap. She knows she can be loud with me. It's baby steps, but we will get there. So, OP, he has a 3-year-old daughter and he's 22. He was, that means he was either 18 or 19 when his wife was, depending on when his birthday is, he was either 18 or 19 when he got his wife pregnant and they had a baby together. And even when you're not in like a relationship that's involved with all this grooming and is super abusive, having a baby at 19, that's got to be a lot for any 19-year-old. Like, I've had a couple of my kids had a baby when they were teenagers and they had a hard time. Like, I mean, emotionally, like, luckily they have a huge family here who was all helping, and so the kids who wanted to keep their kids did. And that's happened several times now. Anyway, a relevant comment in response to being asked how his arm is doing. I've got another 3 weeks in a cast. It's a break to both my radius and ulna. I'm pretty sure that's what they said when I went to when I got my arm broken too. It's pretty bad. Like, and they had to put a metal plate to set it correctly, so it was pretty bad. Note marked as ongoing since it definitely doesn't seem concluded, but OOP doesn't indicate that they plan to update again, so I'm not sure. I really hope things go well for him and his daughter. Oh my god, me too. Me too. Me too. That is so fucked up. I'm sorry. Oh my god. That just made me sick thinking about all this grooming and this abusive relationship, and then thinking about the little girl being involved in all that. And when I read the title, I thought it was just them, and I didn't know they had a kid, and then they had a kid, and I was like, well, I can't imagine that child being involved in that. And I mean, OP was even a child when they met, and ugh. I'm gonna read a few comments really quickly and then move on to the next. Move on to the next time. Move on to the next one because I really want to just get past this. 26 and 14 is insane and psychotic, and no one around her or him thought that was weird. I would have called the police. What was going on with the grandparents who had Mia for a bit, the wife's parents? They know their daughter is a predator and is just fine with that. That's my point. Like, none of them said anything to her. Like, come on. And no one said anything to the guy either. Unfortunately, many people don't take female predators seriously against young/teen boys. It's fucked up and disgusting. If she's a child abuser, chances are she was abused as a child. Her parents might see nothing wrong with what she did. I really hope OOP keeps his daughter safe from them. Well, luckily he has his daughter full time, so I think everything's gonna be fine now. I mean, I'm a little worried still about the wife, but hopefully he gets some kind of restraining order or something. And clearly he's doing everything possible to keep his daughter safe. So I feel like a bright future for him and his kid. And like hopefully everything, I mean, obviously that's gonna be some serious trauma for OOP, but hopefully, hopefully he doesn't do something drastic. Like, hopefully everything's okay. He's got his girl to worry about, and he says he says she's his world. So I'm really looking forward to. I don't know if there's any other updates. If there's any other updates, I'll read them. But otherwise, I'm gonna move on from this one, and it's pretty fucking insane that no one in I don't know. They both said they came from abusive families, so maybe. Alright, we're moving on from this one because this is disgusting. And I don't want to continue. Is it? Okay. And this is one that's concluded. I found out about my wife's alter ego after I accidentally opened her Google Docs on the home computer, and it's posted to Off My Chest, so let's see what the story is. This is weird as hell. My wife and I have been together for 10 years and married for 7. We have a 3-year-old daughter. I thought I knew everything about her. There were no secrets, but that was a lie. My wife works from home as a freelancer. She sometimes uses the home computer. One day she was taking a bath. Usually, when my wife takes a bath, she takes 45 minutes. I was using the home computer because my personal one was in the repair shop. I saw my wife's Google account was still logged in. She had Google Docs opened. I got curious because the tab that was open seems like an online book because it had double quotation marks. I got invested in it and read the first chapter. It was interesting. By the fourth chapter, I realized it was smut. It had many graphic sex scenarios and in very details. It was a fan fiction. I never knew she wrote fan fiction. When I met her, she was very shy. We didn't have sex until we were 5 months into the relationship. She always came off as prude to me at first, but eventually our sex life got better. I just thought I just thought it was because she was more comfortable with me. It was a month ago. Sometimes I read all the stories that she wrote. It was all smut. There were like 10 stories in total. The ones I recognized was from Jujutsu Kaisen. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Attack on Titan and Harry Potter. There was sex in every position. Some of them I don't even know about. The way she writes those scenes is very stretched out in details. It feels like I'm with a different person now. She has not changed yet. She is a devoted wife and mother. But I have questions. Why did she hide it? Was she lying to me about being uncomfortable with sex when we were dating? I know she's had relationships in the past. Does she want sex life and does she want sex life like those people in her stories? I'm not really mad that she writes fan fiction, but I am shocked to discover this side of her. She is a talented writer, but I am not so sure how I feel about her writing about sex. I cannot say this to anyone, not even my wife, because she will be angry at me for reading her stories. Because if she really wanted to, she would have told me. And then there's an update, July 17th, 2023. A lot of you people have requested an update, so here it is. First of all, I need to clear things out. People have asked. Yes, I do watch porn. My wife knows it. She doesn't have any issue with it. I do not watch it regularly, though, only once or twice a year. Also, I do not have a problem with her writing fan fictions. It just struck me like a train when I discovered it. And no, my wife doesn't write underage stuff. All of her characters are adult. No Snape and Hermione sex stuff like one guy mentioned in my previous post. So now the real update. I asked my wife about her fan fictions. She was stumbling on her words and asked me how I knew about that. I explained everything to her. It was not my intention to snoop. It was just her Google Doc account was logged in. I was going to use that, so I clicked in one of her stories and then got invested in it. She told me she had no intention of hiding it from me. She never told anyone about this because there was just no point. I asked her if she was unhappy with our sex life and wanted to do something more, because her fanfic had BDSM, threesome stuff. Hang on. I have to plug in my laptop. Plug it in really quickly. What the? Okay. Sorry, this is a pain in the ass. I just have to plug in my computer. Hang on. Ugh, annoying. Okay. I asked her if she was unhappy with her sex life and wanted to do something more, because her fanfics had BDSM and threesome stuff. Blah. She told me she was not interested in doing any of that. She is happy with her sex life, but she had a couple of things in her mind she wanted to do, but not now when we are both buried in work. She told me her Google Docs only contains a few stories, but she had more saved on her real computer. I was shocked. I never realized she had such an interest in writing about sex. She further reassured me she doesn't see herself, she just sees the characters. It is similar to playing with dolls, instead she is doing it through writing. In her writing, she mentions things like cheating, threesomes, and open relationships. She doesn't like those things and has no interest in it. She was upset because I snooped into her work. I apologized for that. She called me a grandpa for taking it too seriously. Well, that's it. I will not ask her about her fanfiction projects anymore, though I did ask her to let me read some stuff because the stories are very interesting. If I'm being honest, this is better than actual porn. In actual porn, there is no feelings, everything is fake. But in her stories, the characters create sexual tension first, and don't just jump into fucking. The characters have stories that keep me engaged, so that's it. It's kind of wholesome. I thought it was going to be, like, he discovered that she was cheating or living a double life, or like, I don't know, she stole identities and her real identity wasn't her real identity or something. But anyway, I love that this ends with OP discovering he likes erotica. I love that his prude wife was just like, yeah, and stop being such a grandpa. I choked on my coffee at that part. Oh man. If there's a screen, AO3 shall be seen. Heck yeah, that's why I post all my work. I mean, I don't write porn stuff, but I do post a lot of stuff. So, okay, I think I'm gonna take a break because I need to eat something. It's only been 45 minutes. I'm gonna put these two videos. I'm gonna come back and do a part two, and then I'm gonna put the two videos together, and it'll all be one thing. So you guys will see. Anyway, so I'll be right back. I'm gonna eat something. Of course, as soon as I turn on the freaking camera. Alright, I'm gonna keep reading Reddit. I'm not gonna bother cutting this out though. I'm just gonna post the picture here. Like the Reddit picture or whatever. I don't know. Okay, this is a really long story. Moving far away from my abusive family without telling them, but my mother's recent action made me second guess my decision. Ugh, sorry, whatever. Anyway, doesn't matter. Ugh. I'm moving far away from my abusive family without telling them anything, but my mother surprised me today with a piece of art, and I feel horrible. Okay, this is the original post. I mean, not the original post. Hang on. Trigger warnings, abusive parents, sexual abuse of a minor. Okay, so if you don't want to hear that, then you're gonna have to skip ahead a lot, because this is a really long video, apparently. This is a really long story, I mean. I posted about this once before, although it was deleted. Basically, I have a shit life where I currently am, and I always have. My parents are and always have been extremely abusive. My father takes most of my money and always has since I was 14. He says it's his money. I'm 23 and he's still doing this. He literally only ever talks to me about money. We have that kind of relationship. My mother is emotionally neglecting. My mother is God damn it. My mother is emotionally neglecting, and again, always has been. She has bipolar disorder and has said and done some really, really awful things to me in her bad moments. I don't even want to get into the things she has put me through. I still love them both, of course, but I can't do this anymore. I decided a while ago that I was leaving here and starting a new life on the West Coast. Today I changed my number and bought my plane ticket. They think my phone is shut off due to non-payment. They have no idea about anything I plan to do, and I don't want to tell them. Well, today I came home and found this piece of art hung up on my wall. Hang on. There's like a link to a picture. Okay, it's an Imgur post, so I'm going to save it and post it at the end of the video. Okay. I'll post it at the end of the video. In the image, there is an art piece depicting a beach scene with just the trees but no people, crafted with what appears to be tiny bead-like objects. The surrounding is as bright as day, but there is a big moon in the sky. My mother had mentioned it to me in her good moments. I forgot what the art style is called, but it's a bunch of little bead things that you carefully put together to make a picture. It's her new hobby lately, and I'm so happy that she's found something that seems to take her away from her mental agony. She was so excited to give it to me. She was so excited to give it to me. Just the other day, she smiled and said she made me something nice and that it was almost done. It took her weeks and weeks to make this for me. I walked into my room, I saw it, and I just started crying. I know I need to leave. I do. I need to start a new life and I need to get away from here. I can't be happy here. I know I can't. This family has broken me into so many different pieces over this family has broken me into so many different pieces over the past 23 years. I just feel so guilty. I saw this picture and I immediately felt horrible. I've always tried so hard to be a bright light in my family and make things less toxic, but it's never worked. I feel like I've failed and I'm giving up now. She's going to miss me, I know she is. She's going to wonder about me. She is going to cry all the time. She's going to be so sad, and although I bought this plane ticket and I'm not turning back, and I know this is what I need to do for me, I still feel like the shittiest person in the world. I just needed to tell someone this. I leave next week. I'm just so upset after seeing that she hung her present to me on my wall while I was away. So some comments speculated that the mother's awareness of OOP's plan might be the reason for her action, and then they responded, I almost sorry. And then they responded, I almost told her a few days ago because I felt so guilty. I told her that there was something very important that I had to say to her, and I was shaking. But I was too scared to actually tell her, so instead I had to quickly make up a lie, which ended up just me telling her that I have an STD. I don't know, it's the only thing that I could think of that would also give me a reaction like that when telling someone. I don't have any STDs, but she seems to have bought the lie and moved on. But perhaps she knows something. I did tell my little brother, and him and I are very close. I don't think in a million years that he would have told them. There is a 0.01% chance that he did that. My dad also has cameras with audio planted all around the house. Planted all around the house. Or, hang on. My dad also has cameras with audio planted all around the house, and although I've tried my very best not to talk about it around them or in the house in general, maybe they picked up something. I also don't even think he views them that much, but maybe he does. I don't know. And then OOP added in the comments, I love my mother. She is abusive, and that will never be okay. But she has mental illness. It's never an excuse, but I still love her, and in her good moments, when she smiles and tells me about something amazing that happened to her that day, I get very emotional because I wish she could always be that way. I wish so much that she would never go back to being horrible, but she always does. I was thinking about taking the art piece with me. I hope she notices it's gone. I hope that will tell her how much I appreciate her in her good moments, and that when she does do something nice for me, which is and always has been very rare, I hope she will see that it means the absolute world to me and I never want to let go of those memories. My parents are getting old and have a lot of health issues, especially my mom. I would be so heartbroken if something happened to her a week after I left and she thought I didn't love her. I would never forgive myself. I'm getting emotional thinking about this, and I think I'm being dramatic, but I don't know. This is what worries me when I think about my mom. I do plan on leaving a note. I've tried writing some, but every time I just get very angry and start listing all the things that my parents have done wrong to me. Every time it starts to just sound hateful and horrible. I don't want them to think I'm leaving because of them. I'm leaving because of me. They're a factor in why I feel so horrible, but ultimately I'm doing this for me. Okay, I get how OP feels because like I've basically had the same thing with with my sister. Like, I had to cut her off for my mental health. It had nothing to do with her. I mean, she's a factor in, the way that I feel and everything, but like, I cut her off for my mental health. I still love her and I still care about her and I still hope she's okay and I still appreciate when she's nice to me, which, just like in this story, is very rare. Well, was very rare. I haven't talked to her in over a year. I mean, not like face to face, not even over the phone. Like, we, I we've talked a couple of times through my mom. Like, my mom will say, "Oh, your sister wanted to say this to you," or "I wanted to say, oh, oh, I wanted to say this to your sister," or, and I'll tell her, like, "Oh, tell my sister this," or something. It rarely happens, and a couple of times it happened because she wanted to ask me for a favor. Like, one time she wanted a stuffed animal out of the box of stuffed animals that I'm planning to donate. Don't worry, she's not going to ask for the ones that I'm keeping. I I have all those guys here. Every single one that I'm keeping is here with me because after a while, since my sister was living there, I pretty much insisted my mom to bring them over so that I could. They were actually in the corner where my Kenyan sandboa is supposed to go is clean now. There's my tank for my snails, but there's like nothing else. There's the bin that has my snails in it, so my snails are occupying that space right now, but it's the rest of it is mainly clear, and because I cleaned it out. But the bags with my stuffed animals in it used to be there, but now they're in my closet. It's like a little teeny tiny closet that doesn't even have a door or anything. So, yeah. Anyway, I know exactly how that is because that was basically my relationship with my sister. She was an abusive jerk, and she treated me like crap, and eventually I just fucking cut her off, so I was done. And eventually you just fucking whatever, you know. Sorry, hang on a sec. Oof. Alright, I think there is another post. I finally left my abusive parents. I'm at the airport now waiting for a plane to take me 3,000 miles away with a one-way ticket. And that was April 1st, 2019. Oh wow, this was posted several years ago. I'm posting an update as I know a lot of people asked me to keep updating. So I actually did it. I said goodbye to my few friends here. I packed all of my stuff into a suitcase. I read a post on the sub earlier where someone said, "It's funny how your entire life can fit inside a suitcase." He was right, and you really start to feel bad when it comes down to this, and you realize that you don't need much of what you have at all. I was scared that the things I loved most wouldn't all fit in my suitcase, but I ended up having space left over. Most of us live very selfishly. My little brother drove me here to the airport. I love him. I hugged him and told him that I loved him, and I gave him my car, as he needed one for work, and he's never had much either. My parents only really love my older brother, their firstborn. I told them that if our parents ask, to tell them that I asked him to take me to the airport and I just gave him my car keys and left. He knows everything, but they don't need to know that. I also gave him my fish, which oddly I already miss them. It's really weird how taking care of even the smallest of creatures can make you feel so special. That helped a lot with my depression. I also just want to say that, unfortunately, Phineas died also, my baby jumping spider, and I found him, like, he was on his back with his legs curled into his body, so he's gone. And he already molted recently, so, like, I know he's not molting again, but unfortunately, he just died, so it was really sad, and it sucked. Especially since Artemis died just a couple of weeks ago, so it's a freaking bummer. But yeah, taking care of like these tiny little creatures can make you feel like most of my critters are really small. Like they're very small. Like they're only a couple of inches. Like even Curly Fry, I think, is only like I don't know 4 or 5 inches. She's probably the biggest one that I have. Not the longest one that I have, but the biggest one that I have, like all the way around. But I love them so much. So yeah, I get that. I also get that whole favoritism thing because my dad would play favorites with my sister and not with me. taking care of the smallest creatures can make you feel so special. That helped a lot with my depression. I didn't tell my parents anything. They don't know anything. The last thing that my father said to me was, "You need to cut the front yard," and he walked away. I don't even remember the last thing that my mother said to me. I left them a note that said that I'm safe, I'm gonna be okay, but I had to leave. I told them I would reach out when I was ready, if ever. I told them that I'll always love them, for they are my parents and they gave me life. I wonder how they're going to react when they see the note. I imagine my father will be furious as he can't coerce me into giving him all of my money anymore. My mother is probably is, my mother is just going to use it to get pity because her life is such a tragedy, at least according to her book of faces. What? Book of faces? I'm sorry, I'm sure that's some kind of euphemism, but I don't get it. Perhaps they should have treated me better as I'm the best son they could have ever asked for. I mean, if you don't mean to toot your own horn. I'm kind, I'm empathetic, I'm ambitious, and I'm full of love. But even I have my breaking point, and I'm going to find new people to give me love. People who will to give my love to. People who will appreciate it. So anyways, yeah, I did it. I packed a suitcase that is my life. I grabbed the bracelet that my old friend who passed away gave me and put it around my wrist. I put on my favorite pair of beat-up boots and cuffed my jeans and I left. I'll be so far away in 12 hours, they won't ever be able to hurt me again. I randomly ran into my ex-boyfriend here at the airport just a few minutes ago. We didn't end things well when we broke up 2 years ago. Coincidentally, it ended because he told me I was being ridiculous for rebelling against my parents' abuse, and that I should be grateful for them for even being alive. Are you kidding me? He was in a rush, but smiled and asked how I was doing, and he proposed that we should catch up when I got back from wherever I was going. I smiled at him and told him I was doing well, and I said, "I'll let you know when I get back." I feel very whole right now for the first time in my life. Too long didn't read. My family has been extremely abusive and toxic to me my entire life, including taking all of my money and telling everyone that I lied to them about my older brother molesting me when I was young, which did happen. Oof. I am 23 years old. I've been dealing with severe physical abuse my entire life. I recently decided that I was moving to the other side of the country and not telling them anything. I changed my number and deleted all of my social media. I'm never coming back to this place ever. Okay, I think there might be more. Oof, hang on. Edit. Wow, my very first goal. Thank you so much. I can't believe how supported I am. Honestly, my emotions are all over the place, but I can't believe how many people are proud of me. This is genuinely the one single thing that I've wanted to do more than anything else in life. I was always so terrified to just take this leap of faith and hit the reset button, and I'm almost in tears over how many people believe in me. I have no choice but to succeed now. Edit 2. And thank you for the silver as well. I am going to take this opportunity to be my dramatic self, haha, and say that I genuinely am in tears in this airport at how supportive you all are. I cannot believe I just recently discovered Reddit. I was truly missing out. Also, as an update, it's 10:19 a.m. and I am in New York City at the airport here. My flight was delayed, but finally it took me from my home to here. In an hour, I'm boarding my flight to take me to my new home in California. Edit 3, I'm moving to Los Angeles. My parents don't know yet, but will definitely update when they find out. My brother and I are in close communication about this. I do have somewhere to stay when I get there. No job yet, but that'll be easy. I just wanted to answer some questions that I was getting a lot. I was married when I was younger and we moved away. Just got divorced 2 years and a few months ago. I never thought I would have to explain and justify 23 years of abuse because one or two assholes on here wanted to call me a liar. Can't imagine being that hateful to a stranger. Thank you, though, to everyone else that is supportive. I took a picture. Hang on. I took a picture. Hang on. I'm gonna save this picture and post it at the end. Alright. I'll put that at the end of the video. Final update for this post. I have arrived in LA at 2:47 p.m. The air here is amazing. I feel completely renewed, and I've been here for 10 minutes. It's so beautiful. Anyways, I'm gonna drop my stuff off and take a hike with my best friend. Thanks for listening. Until next time. Okay. Since these posts, these were in 2019. Since then, he settled into Los Angeles, testified against his older brother for sexual abuse. His friend got murdered by his friend's brother. What the fuck? He got work in tech, he got depressed, then seems to recover, and he either got a dog or is looking for the right one. Also, he posts pictures of his butthole sometimes, but also some cute selfies, so it's kind of a balance, lol. Edit, he got the dog, and as a puppy, she chewed on everything. Edit 2, he moved back to the area near his family, but seems to be doing well overall. I can understand being overwhelmed by LA and wanting to go back to familiar surroundings. I wish him well. Edit 3, OOP is here! He left a wonderful comment updating his life. I really think he seems like a good person, doing his best in this world, and I wish him happiness and security going forward. That's awesome. Good for him getting out there and spreading himself for the world. Dang. Alright, I think we're gonna move on to the next post now. I got all this saved stuff, so I guess I'm just gonna scroll down. Okay, hang on. These are my notifications. Where are my saved posts? I have to find my saved posts. Okay. Wait. How do I get my saved posts? Profile? Oh, yeah. Yay! Okay, saved posts. Here we go. Oof. Okay. Hang on. I have to... Okay, I know I saved some more posts in here. Now, where the heck are my best of Redditor update posts? Oh. Okay. Maybe they didn't save properly or something. I saved a couple of more, best of Redditor update posts, but maybe they're not there. Huh. Okay. Trying to find where... Trying to see if I can find any more best of Redditor updates. Ooh. Oh, sweet. Okay, ooh, I love this. This story looks fun. Okay. My neighbor's cat adopted me. I've tried to get rid of it. He won't go away. My neighbor is threatening to sue me, and so is my landlord. And this was originally posted by you/I stole my neighbor's cat on r/legal advice. So the original post is here. Okay, this is the original post. I have my own cat and a pet door. My cat goes in and out as she pleases to use the litter box and to probably get into trouble. Lately, my neighbor's cat, who's male, has invited himself inside via the cat door. He does it late at night, in the mornings, whenever. At first, I'd shoo him out, but that made him come in when I was asleep to eat my cat food. Apparently, my cat food is better than his. I've been woken up by him meowing, and he often sprays my walls, leaving a horrible stink. Sprays the walls with what? Poop? I've tried spraying this thing with the hose, yelling at him, gently throwing him back over the fence, getting those things that are supposed to scare off cats with sound, locking the pet door. He meows at my door in that case, and nothing works. He now pretty much lives in my yard 24/7. I've given up getting rid of him. He runs in when I open my door or the garage door or whatever, and then hides so I can't find him to toss him back out. Again, gently. Now my lease says I can have one cat, which I do. Now comes the problem. My landlord came over for an inspection, which I was aware of. The problem is, my neighbor's cat came running in while he was there and sprayed the wall, jumped on my counter, and began eating my lunch. What is he spraying the wall with? Can anyone, clarify what spraying the walls means? is that like with poop? Does he poop on the walls, or is he spraying it with something else? How exactly does that work? Jumped on my counter and began eating my lunch. So it looked like I owned two cats. My landlord asked if it was mine, which I replied it was my neighbor's. He says another neighbor has complained that the cat is over at their house every day spraying, and they've seen it come to my house, so it must be mine. He's now finding me and telling me to get rid of the cat as it's ruining the walls. My neighbor is also unhappy with this. My neighbor. Sorry, I'm just trying to, figure out exactly what's happening. My neighbor is also unhappy with this because she doesn't see her cat much. I personally walked him over to her door, handed him to her, and see her toss it right back out after I leave. Are you kidding me? Okay, well, yeah, because why would a cat prefer another person over their owner? That makes no sense. The only thought is that maybe she's abusing the cat or something? So, anyway, she's now threatening to sue me for stealing her property. She doesn't want to keep him inside because he meows, and whenever she lets him out, he's right back in my yard. She's also mad because he's gotten fat on my cat food no matter where I hide it. The cat gets into the bag for lunch in the middle of the night. She's saying I've damaged her property. Can my landlord slash neighbor actually find slash sue me for a cat that I have tried to get rid of? How do I respond? I'm going to see if I can find a few neighbors to sign papers saying she owns the cat. But so I'm not too worried about my landlord, but my neighbor. Help! My neighbor's cat won't go home. Few more things to add. I like this cat. He's a sweetie, sprays everywhere, but oh, he's a real gentleman when he visits otherwise. I'm getting married and we're buying a house in a few months. Could I get in serious trouble if the cat tries to visit whoever moves into this house? 2, could I in theory take the cat? I wouldn't. Honest, one is enough for me, but if I wanted to, could I and just let her sue me for the cost of said cat? He's not fixed, no shots, and I doubt he's microchipped. 3, she doesn't seem to care about him too much. It's more, oh, he was a cute kitten, but now he's not situation. She's a bit of a nutter, dislikes me, ever since my tree fell over in her yard. What just happened? Are you kidding? I have no idea what happened there. I have no idea why that's a thing, but okay, let's just do this again. Sorry. It's more, oh, he was a cute kitten, but now he's not situation. She's a bit of a nutter. She dislikes me ever since my tree fell over into her yard. He's scruffy looking and has a nice share of matted fur that I've been slowly brushing out. Aw. Can I actually be sued for damaging her property for getting it fat? Can the landlord withhold my deposit for any damages he causes? My cat is female and spayed, so it's not like she sprays walls. Okay, this is a male thing. I still have no idea what it means when a cat sprays stuff. Edit, apparently people have problems with my sense of smell. I grew up with horses and 6 male cats to catch mice. I'm sure my sense of smell is shot. Also, vinegar and orange cleaner, get the smell out in a jiffy if it's not been there too long. Seriously, try it. I'm sure this sounds more extreme than it is. Seriously? Legal advice best of? Not worthy. I was tired when I wrote it, so I'm sure it's a jumble. It's more of a this lady is a nutter, am I actually going to get served than a serious worry. More for my curiosity than anything. Edit again. I'm glad you guys enjoy my problem so much. It really makes me smile, but legally can she sue me for damaging her property and stealing her property? Can I sue her for damages to my house? Should my landlord withhold my pet deposit? Or can I sue her for damages to my house should my landlord withhold my pet deposit? Or fine me for having the cat around? What about all the money I've spent trying to get rid of the thing? I asked my landlord. Installing a special pet door is out of the question. He won't allow it, and the cat sneaks in other ways. I once left a window cracked half an inch. He pushed it open and let himself in. I did get a neighbor to sign a letter saying it's not my cat. My landlord accepts that, but now thinks I'm encouraging it and need to solve the problem. After 6 months and $500, I've tried to get rid of it. I may end up calling the shelter. Yeah, this seems like she just doesn't give a shit about her cat and it would be better off in another home. Okay. Son of a bitch. Okay, update 1, March 3rd, 2016. Oh my god, this was a super long time ago. This was 7 years ago. I tripled my efforts to get rid of him, and until he spent his nights meowing at my porch and upsetting my other neighbors. My landlord has now served me fines for A, noise, and B, damage caused by the cat, because he comes into my house despite admitting that I don't own the cat. I didn't get much in the way of legal advice last time, so hoping for advice, can my landlord fine me for damages caused by a cat I do not own? Can I sue her for the damages? Edit, guys, I've tried to get rid of the kitty. You seem to think that I go out feeding it every day. I haven't done that for months. I used to because I felt awful for it, but once he got old enough to spray out, he went. I know everyone thinks a water gun will solve the issue, but I am being sued. This is legal advice, not cat advice. I just want to know if I can get the fines lifted from my landlord, and if we're suing me based on fattening up her cat and now making it skinny because I don't feed it has merit, and if I should lawyer up. In terms of things I've tried, yelling at it, spraying it with the hose, getting little sand devices that blast air when it senses motion, hiding in my house and playing ninja to get out, locking my pet food up so my cat is unhappy, putting all the human food away, baby-proofing anything that he may get into, calling animal control. They're useless, by the way. If the cat isn't right there when they show up, they won't do anything. Talking to my neighbor, talking to a landlord, talking to my landlord, borrowing spray guns from my neighbors, locking my pet door, more yelling at him, etc. Oh my gosh. Final update. March 21st, 2016. My dad got me an early wedding gift. A lawyer. Turns out those weren't legal papers my insane neighbor served me. I've just never dealt with anything legal at all and was an idiot. I think she can get in trouble for trying to pass them off as legal papers, but I don't care at this point. I'm done with her. I took everyone's advice and hauled off to the kitty to the tune of $25 each time for 3 times. Neighbor went crazy and showed up on my doorstep, screaming about how I was going to pay her for getting Kitty out of jail, and I was stealing her property again, and now I damaged it because the shelter made her get Kitty shots as well as being fixed. Luckily for me, I had a recorder handy when she went off on this rant. She even approved to me a recording to get proof that I stole her cat. My lawyer took it to my landlord, and with a strongly worded letter, he dropped the fees against me for having another cat. Kind of hard to ignore that it's her cat by that point. I did agree to leave behind my pet deposit when I moved out for cleaning caused by him, though. My lawyer sent her a strongly worded letter to leave me alone or face harassment charges to my neighbor. She then showed up on my doorstep with said kitty and said I deserved him because I was a horrible person and he was ruined. I called my lawyer again because A, I cannot have 2 cats in my house, and B, what if she claims I stole it? She screamed that she didn't want it. Whenever he tried to go home, she'd yell and throw things at him. I have this recorded. Oh my god, good. In the end, my lawyer ended up calling for a welfare check. Sorry. In the end, my lawyer ended up calling for a welfare check on her for being nutty. I'm not sure of the outcome of that and honestly don't care. She's gone quiet for now, and that's all I can ask for. I'm getting married in 2 weeks and will be out of this joint. As for the kitty, I feel horrible for him. Instead of calling for animal abuse, he's now living with my father, who has a very small farm, goats. I still have my lawyer on retainer in case she decides to actually sue me over the cat, but who knows. Fingers crossed she'll leave me alone now. Thanks for the advice, everyone. Holy crap. Oh, and there's a picture of the cat. Here's Kitty. He's a little banged up and scared, but recovering someday. If I get to keep him, I'll give him a proper name. Side note, realize the catto picture is gone, but I could still see it from the original post. Here it is. Okay. This is not a picture of a cat. Oh, never mind, there's a picture of the cat. Oh my god! He's like a super fluffy, long-haired, I think, completely ginger kitty. I love him. Just saving it as catto. That's so cute. Okay, the cat picture is gonna be at the end of the video with the rest of those photographs. One sec. At least the cat is safe, and hopefully this lady will get, I don't know, mental help or something, because abusing cats is never okay. This is super messed up, and I felt bad for the cat, but like, The cat is okay now. Luckily, I'm super glad that OP was able to save this cat because I can't imagine that poor kitty. Okay. This is, originally an Am I the Asshole post. Okay, originally posted in r/Am I the Asshole 4 months ago. Unable to recover OP's username, as they have since deleted their post and account. The link for the original post will be to the AutoMods comment on Am I the Asshole. The update was edited into the same post as the original. It was captured by AutoMods on r/Am I the Devil and r/Am I the Angel. When the original was cross-posted, the link to the update will lead to one of their comments. I don't know what that last part means. Captured by AutoMods. Yeah, this is foreign language to me. Okay. But whatever, let's see what this says. Am I the asshole for crying over being ignored and expecting an apology from my boyfriend? For context, my boyfriend, 27 male, is a huge fan of How I Met Your Mother. Ooh, one of my favorite shows. And I, 26 female, have watched it once with him and enjoyed it very much. This morning, in bed, my boyfriend and I were talking, and at one point he said, "You talk too much," which I always take as a joke because I won't tolerate actually being talked to like that, and so I joked back that he can't have both cuddles and quiet. Later, when I got out of bed, we said something at the same time, and he goes to jinx me like in How I Met Your Mother, but I don't shut up because it makes me feel really bad and triggers some childhood trauma from me being bullied and ignored. I tell him that I don't want to play that game because it makes me feel bad, and he proceeds to tell me that he will ignore me until he says my name. This makes me really sad, so I get up and walk out. After sitting in my office crying for about 15 minutes and hoping that he would come apologize to me, I go back to him in the bedroom and tell him that he hurt me. He then says that he asked me to be quiet, and when I would not, he had to jinx me to get me to be quiet. I can already tell you're not the asshole, OP. Ugh. Okay. I tell him that I don't like the Jinx game because it makes me feel really shitty. But he says it's not a game and I have to respect it. At this point, I'm getting quite frustrated, and I tell him that at no point did he politely ask me to be quiet, and that I will never respond well to being ordered around like being told you talk too much. I start crying again, and he says, "I don't want to do this right now." I left the bedroom and am now back in my office crying and typing this Reddit. Am I the asshole? Judgment, everyone sucks here, going by the top comment of both need to grow the fuck up. What? How is it everyone suck? How does she suck? Okay, I'm just gonna give my judgment real quick. My judgment, he's definitely the asshole. She's not the asshole. It's when you feel hurt and triggered, okay, she does not. How does she need to grow the fuck up, by the way? She very nicely told him that she doesn't want to play this game because it makes her feel bad. And, like, when something makes your partner feel shitty, you have to be receptive to that. Like, and, okay, I am gonna say, maybe if OP is having these, like, triggering issues and she has abuse in her past, that she should go to therapy, but I'm not saying, oh, she needs to grow the hell up. No, it's to, like, I think she needs to work on her stuff, or maybe they need to work on stuff together so they can discuss it in an open, safe space, and she can talk in an open, safe space, and, like, get all her fears and worries out in the open. I'm not, like, and I'm not saying it is anything bad. I'm not saying she needs to grow the hell up or anything. Like, I just think she should get therapy because she obviously has some issues with triggers and stuff, and therapy really helped for me. She says, where does it say? It makes me feel really bad and triggers some childhood trauma from me being bullied and ignored. Yeah, exactly. That's, she should maybe look into therapy for that. But no, she's not the asshole because she expressed very clearly that she doesn't like being ordered around, and that she doesn't like. I don't understand how exactly she can be. I don't understand how people can say everyone sucks here and she needs to grow the F up too. Okay. I'm just gonna say that's absolutely ridiculous, and I don't think that's it at all. Edit/update. Okay, so after writing this post, I started going about my day, and after folding towels, I went back into the bedroom to put them away, and I was met with, "I'm sorry I hurt you," which made my heart melt. We talked, and he told me that he really wanted some quiet and was frustrated that I did not get that. He had said it in a way I took as a joke, and this frustrated him, which is why he felt the need to resort to the jinx method. I apologized for not catching his genuine request, and I assured him that I would never do it on purpose. If I know he wants some peace and quiet, I will give it to him in a heartbeat. All I ask is that he ask me nicely, and I told him this. We forgave each other for our miscommunication, and we ended the conversation with cuddles and saying I love you to each other. Thank you all so much for your comments. I need to respect and be more confident in my own boundaries, and he needs to communicate more clearly so that I may also respect his. So everything ended okay, I guess. Okay. Oof. Okay, this morning in bed, my boyfriend and I were talking, and at one point he said, "You talk too much," which I always take as a joke because I won't tolerate actually being talked to like that. Turns out she actually does tolerate being talked to like that. Yes, that was kind of glaringly bad, but I also understood nothing else reference-wise because I've never watched the show. Yeah. Um, I don't recall any Okay, hang on. There's more about the show. I've watched the show a couple of times, which I don't recommend with the hindsight of the past 10 years. Why? What's wrong with it? But I don't recall any jinx jokes. Definitely sounds like some misogynist bullshit the writers would try to pull, though. Edit, looks like Marshall used the jinx against Barney. I still stand by my original statement that the How I Met Your Mother writers were misogynists. See the hot/crazy Matrix, how Robin treated Patrice and Barney's entire character for just a few examples. Robin's name is spelled with a Y instead of an I, when it should be spelled with an I. That's not okay. You know what? I'm not gonna get into how Robin treated Patricia. It's Patrice. Her name was Patrice. I hated that so much. It felt very like how Parks and Rec treated Jerry. At least Parks and Rec made it up to him. Yeah, it was a problem. I was upset by that too. Like, Patrice was just a really sweet, friendly, bubbly person, and people were mad, and I don't know, that he acts like a butthole, so, it kind of she treated Patrice like an asshole, so, um, okay. Kind of curious. Okay. Ooh, you know what? Okay. This one looks good. My girlfriend, 24 female, wanted another pet, and I, 27 male, said no. Plus, satisfying update. This one is another old one, but so satisfying for everyone except the OP. I am trying to keep this as anonymous as possible. Here we go. My girlfriend loves animals. She is a legal secretary as her job and also works as a small animal specialist on the side. She's worked as a small animal specialist for 4 years, and after getting her real job, decided to keep her other job for fun. At home, we have 2 dogs and 2 cats. All are her pets. Her jobs are highly demanding, and when she isn't working, she is in the den organizing huge dog adoption events. Aww. Every 4 or 5 months, she manages to bring about 60 dogs up from high kill shelters around the US and finds every dog a home. And I think that's a cool thing she does, but she literally stays up until 3 a.m. planning flights and managing people to get the dogs securely to the holding center and etc. And then wakes up at 6 a.m. and goes to work until 5 p.m. and then goes to her other job until 10 p.m. and comes home and repeats the process. Holy crap. Wait, she stays up until 3 a.m., then she gets 3 hours of sleep, then she works for 11 hours, then she comes home at 10 p.m., then she stays up till 3 a.m. again, and then she gets 3 hours of sleep. Unless I'm reading this wrong, she only gets about 3 hours of sleep on those times? On her days off, she is taking her dogs to the park or going on hikes. She lavishes her pets with new beds and the best food, and when she is working, she has the dogs go to doggy daycare, etc. As you can see, her days are filled with animals, and I feel like I'm not even a part of this relationship. When she isn't with her animals, she's reading or doing her own thing. We've been out to dinner together maybe twice in the past month. She isn't distant or rude. She always lets me in on what she's doing and asks if I want to help or asks if I want to go to the park with her or on a hike, but I don't want to because it's always about the animals and not me. Maybe if you went with her, you could spend some time together. Bleh. Anyway. Last night before she went to bed, she said she was thinking about getting a tree frog to put in the den because she really likes the calming presence they give off. Wait, she's talking about like a real tree frog? Okay. Oh my god, I love frogs. My favorite frog is a white tree frog. I'll put a picture of it at the end, but I want you guys to know I really love these frogs. So, yeah. I would love a white tree frog. I would love a white tree frog. I really want a white tree frog. Like, I would love a frog, even though you can't exactly handle them. I mean, you can, but the thing is, they absorb everything. They have very absorbent skin, so if you hold them, they can absorb, like, the oils and maybe lotions on your skin, and it could be, problematic for them. Oof. Anyway, back to the story. I just think that this is the straw that broke the camel's back, because I told her that's insane. I told her I'm tired of all the animal stuff she's involved in. I told her she needs to grow up. And I told her absolutely no to the tree frog idea. At first she was quiet, but then she said something about how animals are her passion and what she does isn't stupid, and she'll never get tired of animals. And then I have my own hobbies too that she doesn't think are stupid and childish. She then said that tree frogs are close to nothing maintenance-wise, and they're just pretty. Then she started getting upset and cried and left the room, and when I woke up, I found her asleep on the living room floor with the dogs. It's not like we're being overrun with animals, but the amount of them in my life is aggravating. She even brings random lizards home and nurses them back to health. Aww. Isn't this all a little insane? She's always loved animals, but now that she makes a substantial amount of money, she does more than ever. I don't get it. Now she wants another animal to fawn over and spend hundreds of dollars on each week? No, I guess I'm just venting for the most part. I feel bad for the way she feels, but I still think the time she invests in animals is insane, and since she's in a relationship with me, she should act like it. Too long didn't read, girlfriend is obsessed with animals and makes no time for her own relationship. In case you can't tell by, my voice change at the end, this is absolutely ridiculous. Not she's ridiculous. You're ridiculous, OP. I know this isn't OOP. I'm talking to OOP here. Like, I know this is a repost, but I'm talking to the actual original poster of this. But, OP, you're an idiot. You're a fucking idiot. Okay, first of all, I want to say, if someone told me, no, you're not buying any more animals, first of all, you can't tell me what to do. But even if you could, if we were in a relationship and that means you got to tell me what to do and you could tell me no to an animal, and you said no and I wanted a pet and you said no to that, then that'd be a same-day breakup. I'm sorry, you're out of here. Animals are my passion. I don't spend a shit ton of time with my animals, but, like, I've got animals that don't really need a lot of attention. I've held my millipedes a couple of times. They're awesome. Mostly I just spray cages, refill water dishes, change out food dishes because the snails and the millipedes need fresh fruit and vegetables. So I change the fruit and vegetables out every, couple of days. And then I am refilling water dishes mainly, and just, I spray the snail's cage at night, and I dump some water down the sides of the millipede's cage so that their cage stays wet, because, I don't want them to friggin' die. So, okay, well, Phineas and Artemis died, but, I have 3 snails, 2 millipedes, and 1 tarantula, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I have 6 pets, and I am planning to get more. Okay, let's just go with the Mexican redney that I'm planning on getting in February. If I was with a guy and I said, hey, I'm getting a Mexican redney, and he said, no, you're not. Absolutely no more animals. Goodbye. That'd be a same-day breakup. I'm sorry, dude, but you're out of here. Okay, and where was that, place? what was that? Now she wants another animal to fawn over and spend hundreds of dollars on each week. I spend hardly any money on my animals, okay? Like, okay, let's talk about the difference between dogs and a tree frog. Dogs and cats require, like, litter they require new litter to be bought. They require toys, beds, things to keep them occupied, all kinds of things. Tree frogs don't really require a lot. Like, your girlfriend's already said this. Even if she wanted to get another dog or a cat, though, you should still, like, okay, you are, you're fucking, you're a fucking child, OP. You need to grow up. Grow the F up. Seriously? You're jealous of animals. You're jealous of fucking animals. And what, you're jealous of a frog? You don't want her to get a frog? Even though frogs hardly require anything? Okay? Taking care of a dog or a cat is extremely different. Okay? I used to have a dog. We used to have a family dog. And all the work that went into that. I saw all the work that went into that. There was, like, playtime. There was daily walks several times a day. There was, petting the dog, feeding the dog, all kinds of shit, okay? It took hours, and my tarantulas, like I said, I mostly like cleaning out dishes and just refilling water dishes and spraying down cages. It takes me maybe, I don't know, 5 minutes a day. And that's on the days when I'm cleaning out the food dishes and stuff and replacing the food with new food. And then there was the matter of money. You said she was going to spend hundreds of dollars on the frog. I'm pretty sure having a frog costs more than a tarantula, but I'm also sure that it costs way less than having a dog or a cat. Okay? I've had a cat. I've had a kid. I had to get rid of it because I was in a really bad living situation with my sister. Okay? That was unfortunate, but, like, the thing is, I had a cat, and the work that's gone into that is completely different than the time and money that goes into. I spend, I don't know, 30 cents a week on crickets, maybe a few dollars a week on vegetables, somewhere between $3 and $5 on vegetables. And then it's mostly just filling water dishes, giving them fresh food, spraying a cage, like, every night. It takes me 30 seconds to spray the cage and fill the water dish. Like, it costs me very little money to feed these guys, and when I just had, like, one tarantula, it cost me nothing, literally nothing, just to feed my curly hair tarantula. It costs, I don't know, 30 cents for 2 crickets. I toss those in there, let her eat 1 or 2 of them, and then that's it. That's it for the week. That's all that's required for my tarantula. And then, a few bucks on vegetables for my snails and my millipedes. That's it. That's all. I will say the fruit flies for my jumping spider were kind of, expensive because they need to be special ordered and they're special wingless fruit flies. So that was kind of more, okay, I feel like I'm getting a lot into this, but, like, I've had all different kinds of pets. I've had rats, cats, rabbits, dogs, and now with my tarantulas and snails and millipedes, I can say this is the least amount of work I've ever had to put into a pet. This is the least amount of work I've ever had to put into any pets ever. This is the least amount of money I've spent on a pet ever. I would spend hundreds of dollars taking my rats to the vet for, allergies for Mocha, and I would spend a shit ton of money on cat toys and litter boxes and stuff for my cat and vet bills and all kinds of shit. Like, this is a completely different experience. Even if she wanted to get another dog or a cat and you said no to that because, you didn't want her to get another animal, that would still be fucking stupid. And you said she has no time for your relationship. You said you've gone out to dinner twice in the past month. Okay, that's still time together. And by the way, she invites you to all of her shit, but you decide to not come because, it's gonna be about the animals and not me. Oh my god, this is so stupid. This is one of the most ridiculous posts I think maybe I've ever heard. This actually, it's not ridiculous to the point where, like, it's just so terrible where you're such a terrible person. It makes me laugh. It honestly makes me laugh because this is just hilarious. And you know the update is gonna be his girlfriend dumping him and getting the frog that she wants. You know that's what's coming. I've just been talking for such a long time. Sorry, I'm starting to lose my voice. I might have to stop soon. But like, oh my god, you're an idiot, OP. You know his girlfriend is gonna dump him and go get a frog instead. So, yeah, I agree. Lose the boyfriend and go keep the animals, go get your frog, okay? You deserve a frog, and you don't deserve this boyfriend. What the fuck is happening? Okay, let's read this update. After reading comment after comment about how I didn't support my girlfriend or care about her passions, I started to see where I was wrong. I do care about her passions. I personally am burnt out on animal care. I should have communicated that better besides blowing up on her. I still, no matter how many protesting comments I get, will never understand why she donates so much money to just animals and not anything else. That is why I told her to grow up. That, and I think her passion for animals is childish. Sort of in the way that kids love fairies or mermaids. Oh my god! The update is worse! The update is worse! How... I have to turn up my AC. Hang on. It's hot. It's hot in here. I'm legitimately hot in here. Okay, so... Oh my god. How is the update worse? I thought, like, okay, I read, okay, I read the comments that said, I read the update that said, I started to see where I was wrong, I do care about her passions, and I was like, okay, maybe there's a ray of hope, maybe there is literally a small ray of hope in this life that this guy will still, I don't know, be with her and be cool and just, let her get a frog, but no. No, that is absolutely not what's. Oh my god. How does the update make it even worse? Her passion for animals is childish in the way that kids love fairies or mermaids. First of all, I want to say, I think mermaids are real. They're absolutely real, okay? There's like, I don't know, what is it, 90% of the ocean that hasn't been explored? Or maybe 70%. I don't know. It's a fucking lot, okay? It's a lot. How is it possible that people can say mermaids absolutely do not exist and I know this for a fact without considering how much of the ocean we haven't explored and then being like, oh, but yeah, I'm just sure they don't exist because who knows what the fuck could be out there, but I believe they exist. Also, same with the universe. It's so fucking big and we're only on this planet right now, even though the universe has literally millions of planets in it, and then you're like, oh, aliens don't exist. There's gotta be some, like, room for shifting. Anyway, she's gonna dump him. She's gonna go get herself a frog. Okay, so, anyway, I also just want to say, this is a dream girl, okay? This is a dream girl. This is a girl who donates she's an extremely hard worker. Not only does she operate on 3 hours sleep, unless I misread that somehow, but she donates her time and her energy and her love to these animals. Okay, I have to say, one of the most telling things about people is how they treat animals. And the way that your girlfriend treats animals, that is a dream come true. The fact that she works for these charities, she finds homes for dogs, she rescues her animals, and, nurses them back to health or whatever. That is so great. I want that girl. I mean, I'm kind of straight. Actually, am I straight? I don't know. Okay, the point is, everybody would give anything to have a partner like that. Anyone with any sense of anything would give anything to have a partner like that. They would love that. Okay. Anyway, after reading comment after comment, blah, 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 I feel like it's a phase she never grew out of. I love dogs too, but her deep love of animals is something I looked over because she's always had good jobs and she is very pretty. There it is! There it is! There it is! oh, well, she has good looks, so I'm gonna marry her and make her my girlfriend. But I care about her looks, but I don't care that she gives a ton of time and energy to charities to save animals. What the fuck is the matter with you, dude? I'm sorry. This is one of the most ridiculous stories I read on Reddit, and you all know what is coming. You all know this guy's getting his ass dumped. Ow, that hurt. Okay. I think a lot of people were misguided in calling me a douchebag simply because I miss spending time with my girlfriend. No, I am not jealous of lizards. I think it's absurd to come home and find her bandaging up some lizard's foot, or open up my fridge to find a tub of mealworms to give said lizard. I've always loved how dedicated she was to things. Whatever she's doing, she's giving 100%. I just wish she directed that passion to things that really matter. Helping animals is nice and all, but it's not really changing the world. Oh my god! I hate this. I hate this person. I hate this person. Oh my god. With every sentence, he gets worse. How is it possible that with every sentence he gets worse? I hate him. I. Oh my god. Okay, I hope she dumps him. I hope she dumps him. I hope she goes and gets her frog because, oh my god, what is the matter with this guy? And who cares? Okay, so what do you want a girl that finds the cure for cancer? Do you want a girl that, like, how do you not see? Oh my god. Okay, I have to say, okay, what do you consider changing the world? Do you want a girlfriend who is going to go out and find a cure for cancer? Because I can tell you the chances of that are basically zero, dude. Okay? They are zero. And how can you not say, oh, helping animals is nice and all, but it's not really changing the world? It is! How can you not see that? It's changing. It's not about changing the entire world, okay? It's not about, doing something amazing or doing something big or changing the world in this huge, amazing way, okay? You don't have to fucking bring world peace to change the world, okay? When you bring a dog to a human, you're changing the world for that dog. You're changing the world for that human, okay? What would you rather the dogs? Okay, she helps so many animals with this charity. She is able to find homes for so many dogs. That is changing the world. That is changing the world that matters. Changing the world for the owner. Changing the world for the dog. Making their world better. And how can you not see how beautiful that is? I'm sorry, this whole thing with the animals is just, I don't even know what to say. My animals are my life. My animals are my passion. My pets are so important to me. Like, one of my deepest fears in life is having a natural disaster happen, like a flood or a fire, and I can't save my animals or my kids. So, it's just depressing to think about, and like both my spiders died. Two of my spiders died in the last month. That was really depressing. I'm really upset about that. Like, it fucking sucks. And like a lot of people will be like, "Oh well, it's just a spider or whatever. It's stupid." Okay. Anyway. Okay. However, I am still deeply in love with the beautiful, sensitive, loving girl I met 5 years ago, and all the comments made it clear that I was being rude to her. So I wrote her up an apology letter and went to the nearest pet store to get her a tree frog. I bet it's too late. I got the tank and the lamp and even crickets. I set up the whole tank in the den where she wanted it and named the tree frog Jinx. I have to admit, that's a cute name. That's a clever name. Despite your complete disregard for how much her love of animals is making things better for so many people and so many animals. I thought my apology and me buying the tree frog would help her see I care and that her passions are cool. Oh my god, you're an idiot! You're an idiot! Alright, I have to go back to my normal voice because this is really messing up my voice. Anyway, I waited for Jessica to get home, and finally, when she did, I told her to go look in the den. She seemed upset and said, "Thank you for the tree frog. I actually bought one before I got off work and had a friend set up the tank for me. It's in my car. I'm gonna go get it. Thank you." She brought the tank in and asked if we could talk for a little bit in our room because she had some things on her mind. She said she didn't want to jump to conclusions, but our relationship wasn't heading in the direction she wanted, and maybe I should find someone more suited to what I like. Maybe a more quiet or less busy life. I explained to her that I love her deeply. I just want her to tone down her animal. Oh my god. Oh my god! How can you tone down your love for. Oh my god. People who love pets, people who truly care about animals, are some of the most amazing, good hearted people in the world. This is an incredible woman, and you have totally put the nail in the coffin. You are an idiot. You are a complete idiot, OOP. Oh my god. You're done. You're done. This post is gonna end with his ass being dumped, and he deserves it. He deserves it. Okay. I explained to her that I love her deeply. I just want her to tone down her animal life, and she said she can't because it's not only her passion, but all the money she makes from being an animal specialist goes to the animals for adoption, vet care, housing, and money to the people who foster the animals when she can't. She said if she toned anything back, she would lose a huge part of her, and I thought she was being extreme. I told her I love her, and if that's her choice. She said she loved me too, but my actions showed I can't and won't support her. She then referred to many times in our past when I refused to show up to her adoption events, and most memorable for her was when I wasn't there when she was accepting an award. Are you kidding me? You didn't show up for her fucking award? You didn't show up to her adoption events? You are horrible. What the Okay, whatever. This guy's an idiot. You know what? I just want to get to the end as fast as possible. It all became very clear that she didn't want to be with me anymore, and once again, she was choosing animals over me. I would choose my pets over anyone. I would choose my pets over anyone. I would choose my pets over literally any guy or girl that I was in a relationship with. They would be done immediately. Oh my god. I accepted it and told her to live her life as she pleases. I told her that I thought she should give money to homeless children too, and she said, sure. Do you know any organizations I could help with? But I didn't have any suggestions, and I was already angry and felt like she was giving me a slap to my face. She said that I was missing the point. We ended the conversation shortly after that with us splitting up and her saying there are things in life that I don't understand and she can't make me understand, and it's just frustrating for the both of us. I agree with her about the frustration part. She said that I can spend as much time as needed to clear my head and I'm allowed to stay here until I find a new place to live. Unfortunately, the house is hers, and life is going to be weird to adjust to alone, but she's right that it will be less busy and more quiet, which I'm excited and looking forward to. I am also happy about not having to share my home with a tree frog, her 2 dogs, and 2 cats, and whatever other critter she brings home for the night. Too long didn't read. I tried to apologize to my girlfriend to work things out, but she didn't care at all, and then we broke up. She still decided to choose animals over me, and that's okay because I'm honestly done too. It was a nice 5 years. Pretty much exactly what I thought. Did I call it? I did. I called it. This is so stupid and ridiculous. I just don't understand. Please don't let the satisfying update be her forgiving him. Please don't let the satisfying update be her forgiving him. Please. Oh, thank God. Good for her. I agree. Well, the update is from 5 years ago, and no word from the OP. I'm going with a happy ending on this one. Yep. They were usually incompatible. I can see the girlfriend shutting the door on that relationship and never looking back. And there was a shocking lack of personal insight when he called her childish. I told her that I thought she should give money to homeless children too, and she said, sure, do you know any organizations I could help with? But I didn't have any suggestions, and I was already angry and felt like she was giving me a slap to my face. She said that I was missing the point. Get fucked, OP. You have to back up your bullshit when you want to say it. I bet she knows organizations to donate to she cares about. OP just wanted to try to get a jab in, and she didn't put up with it. Damn right. Jeez. She always had good jobs and is very pretty. This tells me everything I needed to know about OP. Yup, money and looks. That's it. That's everything. Even if I met someone who wasn't traditionally pretty and didn't have a lot of money, but she cared this much about animals, oh my god, that's a dream relationship for me. Someone who cares about animals as much as I do and who shares my humongous passion for animals, yes, thank you. And someone who loves all kinds of creatures, even the weird ones like lizards and snakes and spiders and oh my god, yes. That is the kind of relationship I need in my life. Who is this girl? Maybe I can date her. I wish. Oof. Not to mention the unfortunately it is her house part. She's hot and she has money, so I liked her, but her entire world doesn't revolve around me, so I'm butthurt. This dude seems like kinda the worst. Oh my god. This is ridiculous. Who boy, who else completely shut down at this point? She then referred to many times in our past when I refused to show up to her adoption events, and most memorable for her was when I wasn't there when she was accepting an award. It all became very clear that she didn't want to be with me anymore, and once again, she was choosing animals over me. She gave me a clear example of my lack of support, but I have a huge victim complex, so I won't accept responsibility for my shitty actions, and I turned it back on her. Fuck you. Oh, here we go. This is the exact quote that I was talking about, and I think her passion for animals is childish, sort of in the way that kids love fairies or mermaids. I thought he was a run-of-the-mill douchebag, and then I realized he's a mega ultra douchebag. Holy mackerel. Let's see about more. Oh my gosh. The part where I shut down in blind rage is when he essentially said, I love her because she brings in money and is hot, but I love her personality. No, you fucking don't, otherwise you would have empathy for her love of animals, you dang twat. What an awful boyfriend. How did he not go to the awards ceremony? There is so much to unpack in this post, but this is probably the one that stood out the most. I can't believe they lasted 5 years, honestly, when it's obvious that they're completely incompatible, and OP is super self-centered. OMG, I hated that OP. I hate him so much, like, ugh. You go, girl. Kick his ass to the curb and keep helping the animals. At least they'll never treat you like your ex-boyfriend did. Oh my god, abso-friggin-lutely. Animal lovers, go! Animal lovers, assemble! Yes, that is, oh my god, that's amazing. I I kind of want to date this girl. Not gonna lie, I kind of want to date this girl because she sounds spectacular. I know she's probably straight, so maybe she wouldn't date me. And also, I I don't know literally anything about her except that she has a huge passion for animals, just like I do. I think that's enough to make us a compatible couple. Honestly, I'm only joking, but like, actually, if I found someone who was as passionate about animals as me, I would do everything I could to keep that person around, and I would encourage them to get as many pets as they wanted, especially when they're low maintenance, like a frog. A freaking frog! He was upset about a frog! Dude, they don't really require that much. I mean, yeah, they probably require more than my tarantula, but like, it's a frog! They don't need walks like a dog does. Okay, I think we have to read one more story because, there's one that looks really interesting. Okay, oh my gosh. Okay, let's see about this one. OOP's aunt hates dragons, books, and medical care, and it was originally posted in r slash entitled parents. Ooh, I love that subreddit. Okay, filler. The loop of Henle is a long U-shaped portion of the tubule that recovers of water and sodium chloride within the kidney of reptiles, birds, and mammals. What? This function allows production of urine that is far more concentrated than blood, limiting the amount of water needed as intake for survival. Many species that live in arid environments such as deserts have highly efficient loops of Henle. Animal with the longest loop of Henle. Kangaroo rat. Wow. Okay, that is a super cool fact. I mean, I don't fully understand it, but it's a cool fact. Okay, trigger warnings, medical neglect, religious zealotry, stalking, assault. Entitled Aunt thinks I worship the devil because I read Wings of Fire. Okay, starting off with a fantastic title. Relatively short post here, but my aunt is acting so unhinged, I thought it'd fit perfectly here. If you couldn't tell by my Redditor name, I love dragons. His Reddit name has something to do with dragons. I know it may seem weird and childish for someone who's 16 years old, but that's just the way I ended up, I guess. I recently discovered a series called Wings of Fire, and it feels like it was made for me. I'd explain the plot and stuff, but I don't want this post getting too long. Now, my aunt. Oh boy, here in the UK, Karens are a rarity compared to what seems to go down in the US, but this lady ticks all the checks. Overly controlling, thinks the world revolves around her, believes in stupid stuff she read on totally trustworthy websites. Sarcasm. Owns annoying pets and refuses to teach them to behave, and of course, is Christian. I'm not saying you're not allowed to believe in Jesus. If you want to do that, go ahead. This lady just takes it to a whole new level, though. She even has the stereotypical haircut. Okay, I'm glad you're not hating on all Christians, because, like, I'm a Christian, but I'm not gonna go shoving it down people's throats. Like, I'm not an asshole like that. If you believe in Jesus, or if you don't believe in Jesus, like, I don't really care as long as you're a good person. Anyway, she even almost killed me once. Wow. That escalated quickly, but that's a story for another day. Also, my parents don't like this woman as well, for all the reasons I do, but don't want to cut her completely out of our life since they'd feel bad, and they feel she's bearable. Plus, her two offsprings are surprisingly sane and nice people. My dad was pretty fucking entitled, but somehow, me and my sister actually turned out pretty good somehow. I still don't understand how that works, but I don't know, nature versus nurture or something. Anyway, on to what happened. Here's the usual cast, blah blah blah. OP is me. Entitled Aunt, Stepmom, and Dad. My aunt decided a few days ago she'd come around our house just to say hello and do the normal middle-aged mom thing of have a chat while their kids just wander around, waiting to leave. We were told she was coming in advance, and of course my parents, not wanting to come across as rude, let her. It had been a while since I had last seen her for obvious reasons, and hadn't started my dumb obsession with Wings of Fire back when I had last seen it. Come on, it's not a dumb obsession. It's cool. You're allowed to like those books. It actually sounds like a pretty badass series. Maybe I'll look into it because I was actually looking for some new books. Not to read. No. Why would I want to do that? I just want to collect more books. Just kidding. Okay, anyway, so entitled Aunt comes in, says her usual greetings to my stepmom and dad, and then comes and greets me in my room playing games and just trying not to say the wrong thing. Trust me, the slightest thing can set off this woman. I have the Wings of Fire book that I'm currently reading through, Moon Rising, on my table next to my games, and it's literally one of the first things she sees. Obviously, a book about dragons would have a dragon on the cover, so she instantly puts two and two together and figures out the book is about those funny-looking winged lizards. Instantly, she starts off saying stuff like, you shouldn't be reading those evil books, OP, and dragons are an embodiment of Satan. I will not have my cousin raised on satanic books. Because apparently, in her totally believable book of biblical wisdom, there was something about dragons and Satan being connected. What? When? Same book that said homosexuality was a sin, just saying. That was in the Old Testament, by the way, so me and my mom do not follow that, which is good because, you know, of everything with me and my sister. You guys know the deal. Wanting to stop her tirade, stepmom and dad pull her out of my room, apologize profusely for her, shut the door. Thankfully, she's not dumb enough to try and come back in, though I can still hear her vaguely speaking in that hushed, shocked tone of voice judgmental people do when telling people how to raise their kids, though I can't make out what she's saying. I end up laughing hysterically over her mini rant over how apparently a book series meant for 10-year-olds is demonic and go back to playing my game. That's hilarious. Later on, after she leaves, she didn't even bother saying goodbye to me, LMFAO. Dad and stepmom sit me down and have a chat about what she said to them. Apparently, she thought I was being brainwashed by the devil and being made to go down an evil path. She literally said that, straight up said the author of the Wings of Fire books worships the devil and drinks baby blood. You can't make this shit up, honestly. Stepmom and dad reassure me I'm not in any trouble and just want to show what unhinged bullshit she had to share because they knew I'd get a good laugh out of it, and damn, I did. So here I am on Reddit telling this story to you. I knew my aunt was crazy before, but this is new levels. What a squid brain. Update entitled Aunt Sends My Wings of Fire book back to the Shadow Realm. What the fuck? November 1st, 2022. Okay, that's what happened. Okay, that's when it happened. So remember my entitled aunt from my previous post? If you don't or didn't see it, she basically thinks a book about dragons stopping an ancient dragon on a murder spree is satanic. Okay, this book is sounding cooler and cooler. I gotta check out the series. And then it's brainwashing me. I know, pretty full on enough. But what happened to me a few hours ago was just so unhinged. It's literally taken me until just now to comprehend what happened. Since the events of last story, my parents and I have basically gone no contact with entitled aunt, which is a lot harder than it sounds due to her offspring being genuinely nice people and not Christian nutbags with like her. Nothing wrong with being Christian. It's when you start thinking anything with scales is the devil and must be killed at all cost, and then there's a bunch of angry faces. Then it's beyond too much, and we don't want to cut them out too. Anyways, onto this batshit story. What the fuck am I reading? I'm currently going into a type of school that isn't really a school per se, more of a know how to act in the workplace and get insight on the job you want type of place. Oh my god, dude. I need that. That is what I need. I'm trying to find a job. I've been trying to find a job literally since December. So, since last year, I've been trying to find a job. It's been like 8 months? 8, 9 months? Pretty sure I actually applied to the job in November and then didn't hear back. Anyway, quite laid back place, and we do a lot of fun stuff there. Normally, I would have picked up these skills earlier, but due to my autism, Asperger's, and major health problems that kept me off school for a couple years, I'm fine now. Don't worry. I never really got to pick those up. Okay, this is me. Like, I need a place like this. I have autism and stuff, and I also have health problems. I'm not sure if OP's talking about like mental health problems or physical health problems. I've got both, to be quite honest. I've got both. Basically, everyone in my family knows where I go, even my entitled aunt side. Somehow, despite us never telling them. Most likely through relatives telling other relatives, I don't know. Anyway, this was the problem, knowing where I went. We finish our work early today, so we get 10 minutes to do whatever, as long as it isn't disruptive or overly loud. School ends at 3 p.m., and it's 2:50 p.m. now. A lot of people just go outside to smoke or wait for the day to be over, but me, being the nerd I am, decide to have a quick read through the next chapter of my Wings of Fire book. Moonwatcher has visions again. Kibley's a witty giga chat, and Winter is just as insufferable as ever. Yeah, I have no idea what is going on in that book. Okay. Hang on. I just went back. Something happened. Ah, fuck off. Yo, what the hell? Oof. Okay. I'm literally... Sorry, I'm just trying to get to the point where I was. Okay, yes, here. I finished up my chapter just as it turns 3 p.m. and I go outside, still holding my book by my arm. Stepmom is waiting for me outside. Yes, I still get picked up from school at 16. I live a solid few miles from my school. Please don't judge. I don't judge. She asks me how my day was, the usual stuff. We're about to get into the car when I hear a voice that just about makes me shit myself. Entitled Aunt's voice. Stop! I turn around to see her walking towards me like she just came out of a fucking JoJo episode. What the fuck is JoJo? I told you, OP, to not read those books. They're making you evil. Me. Excuse me, but how in the world did you get here in the first place? Entitled Aunt. I've been waiting for you for ages to come out with those nasty books so I can finally take them off you. I don't want your mind getting any more corrupted by Satanism than it already is. Ugh. Ugh. Sorry guys, this is really frustrating. At this point, I just started hysterically laughing because it's been implied she's waiting outside for days now just to take my books. Stepmom loses it at her and tries to get her the fuck away from me, but entitled aunt somehow manages to snatch the book off me while my guard is down. Me and stepmom immediately go to try and take it back before we can, well, you read the title. She slams the book on the dirty pavement, keep in mind it had been raining, picks it up again, ew, and starts ripping it into pieces. I pretend to be hysterical and crying because, oh no, she's ruined my book. If only I had a spare copy so I could continue. Oh wait, I totally have a spare copy, LMAO. Yup, by some miracle, Moon Rising is the one Wings of Fire book I have a duplicate of due to a miscommunication with my uncle who's really nice, but, and I mean this in the kindest way possible, a little thick. I don't tell her this, and stepmom knows about my duplicate as well. Stepmom just glares at entitled aunt holding the soggy, tattered book. You know, I could call the police on you now for damaging personal property. Entitled aunt just now realizing the gravity of the situation, and for some reason now holding, holy, totally not tap water, throws the book on the ground, yeets the water at me, and legs it. We did try reporting this to the police, but they said that there wasn't enough evidence, sadly, and due to the area being quiet, no one managed to get it on film. Who knows if my tattered copy of Moon Rising still lays on that pavement right now? I guess we'll find out tomorrow. I'm just done with this lady. She gets more and more cuckoo by the day. I wouldn't be surprised if she ended up in a mental asylum by the end of the year the way she's going, LMFAO. Update. So I woke up today. Sorry. This is getting annoying. Update. So I woke up today to the news that Karen herself had been investigated by the police anyway, despite them saying there wasn't enough evidence, and apparently when the police arrived, she legged it. Police being police caught her, and she's currently under investigation for a whole myriad of charges. Hopefully that bitch ends up serving some jail time. Update 2. I managed to convince my parents to take legal action. Oof. We're currently seeing if we can get a restraining order put in place like everyone keeps saying I should. Karen is still under investigation, but it ain't looking too good for her, thankfully. Oh, and the book isn't there anymore, unfortunately. Some trash man must have got rid of it. One final thing, some people asked about where my uncle was in all of this, and, well, simple answer is he divorced Karen after she almost killed me, LMAO. I'll get to that story once everything legal and that is over and done with. I'll keep y'all posted on how this develops. Okay. We gotta read this last update. This is the story. Okay, Wings of Entitled Parents. The final chapter, entitled Aunt Almost Kills Me and Tries to Adopt Me Against Me and My Dad's Will. What the F? What the actual fuck? Okay, this was posted this year, January 11th, 2023. Hey there! Been a solid minute, huh? If you don't recognize me or missed my last few posts, my insane aunt destroyed my book from my beloved Wings of Fire collection. Well, luckily, you're on Best of Redditor Updates, so they're all compiled into one neat little story, so I get to read all of them at once. It's about dragons. Used to think someone... yeah. It's about dragons. Used to think my obsession considering my age 16 was weird, but I've learned not a lot of people's gonna judge someone based on their taste of 10-year-old aimed books. Anyway, enough rambling. Let's get into what's happened in the story I promised, about how she was almost responsible for my death. Yeesh. First, what happened after my story about her sending my book to the back rooms. Long story short, Big Karen got slapped into jail for a solid few weeks for assault of a minor and a few other charges. We reported what happened to the authorities, and she broke down as soon as she was investigated. We also managed to get a legal restraining order put in place on her. Not gonna get into more detail than that since it's boring legal stuff. Now the big story, the one you've all been waiting for. Cool. My mother was very ill during this story, and due to the illness, not gonna say what for personal reasons, everyone except 11-year-old me knew she wasn't gonna make it. Aww. Due to my father drowning in paperwork that needed to be finished ASAP to sort out my mother's illness. Okay, I thought your parents just, split up or something, but she actually died. I'm really sorry about that. That stinks. You know, in case OOP ever watches this video. he decided it was best for me to stay around my aunt and uncle's place for a few weeks until everything was sorted out. One sec, I have to plug in my laptop. Just went low battery, so I gotta plug it in case, I don't know, something happens. Okay. There we go. So anyway, my lot of people wondered where my uncle was in all this, and here he is. He since divorced my aunt since he couldn't deal with her BS, presumably, which is why he was never mentioned in the previous stories. Anyway, first few days went fine. This was before my aunt went all Christian and crazy, presumably to try and make up for this incident. I've changed, OP. I'm following the Lord now. My brother in Christ, you sound like the Pope took cocaine. Not offending anyone Christian, by the way. You believe what you want. Anyway, after a few days, I start feeling unwell. It's nothing, just a cold, right? Right? I fucking wish it was. Shit really hit the fan after that. I couldn't lay down without my back or anywhere else aching like crazy. I felt absolutely wrecked 99.9% of the time. I had no appetite and I was vomiting like every day. Huge red flag to my aunt, right? Nope, she just dismissed it as stress due to my ill mother. Even when I requested to go to the hospital, she just said, "It's just your stress from your mother, try not to worry about it." Like, bitch, does my entire body aching 24/7 say stress to you? Because I don't think so. At this point, my dad realizes shit's gone so far south, we're basically in Antarctica, so he tries to get involved but never can do. Not because of paperwork this time, because of what I was unaware of until very recently. I'll get into that later. Eventually, after a few more days of living in hell, my dad just says, fuck it, and gets me to the hospital without my aunt's permission and gets a blood test done. The result, I had fucking leukemia. Treatment happened ASAP, and thank fuck I love to tell the tale. I'm doing fine now. Don't worry. Sorry. Okay, I gotta go back up. I'm doing fine now. Don't worry. But my dad told me something about her insanity. My dad told me something about her after she got sent to the clinic, which just baffled me. I knew this lady was insane, but the levels of insanity of tried to do behind my back, the English language does not have a suitable word for. She tried to adopt me from my dad against his will. That's right. Apparently she thought the only reason my dad dropped me off there was because he didn't want to take care of me, not because he couldn't for the moment. This could not be farther from the truth. My dad is an amazing person who would love their child as much as any sane person would, but that's why he never came round. My aunt refused him over. The levels of absolute audacity, it's unreal. If I knew any better, I'd go so far as to call this attempted murder. I'm gonna close this post by saying thanks for all the comments on the last two posts about this bitch. It's thanks to you my family decided to take the steps needed to hold this rhinoceros accountable. Hopefully I never encounter this waste of a human being again, and sorry about the long gap between this post and the last one. We were getting everything legal sorted out, and I wanted to make sure this story was definitely over. Let's click into the comments really quick. I'm in my 5th decade on Earth and sitting here in a top covered in a tiny dragon print. Dragons are never not cool. uh... Hmm. So I'm just trying to find a fresh comment. A new thread that started. Oh, dang it. Okay, 1, not how the police work. 2, not how the legal system works. 3, not how adoption works. 4, not how leukemia works. Depending on timelines, but I'm really doubtful as the rest of it is such an obvious cock of bullshit. What? I'm sorry, what? What is this? Is he, like, calling everything... Is he calling OP a liar? I think that's what's happening. Okay, I think this is literally what's happening. That he's calling OP a liar. So, yeah, whatever. I'm not sure. When my sister got leukemia, she had, like, odd symptoms, like little red spots up her legs, pain from her spleen, frequent nosebleeds, fatigue, easy bruising, and bruises that wouldn't heal, fever. No vomiting, that only happened until she began chemotherapy. Even then it was infrequent, or general pain everywhere. The only symptom they said that made sense was feeling like shit. So yeah, this whole thing is sus. Okay, I think people are literally calling OP a liar, so I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Was this a book ad? It feels like one. Dang, okay. Alright, I think we're done with the comments. I'm seriously done with the comments. This is crazy. Alright, we got more Best of Redditor updates. We're gonna do that all another day. This is a lot of shit. No, wait! No, wait. Oh my god, I just found one that I wanna read. Okay, OOP finds a blind dog, asks r/dogs for help. Okay, we gotta read this one. We gotta end on a good note. We have to end on a good note about this dog and this sweet person trying to help them. So one of my dogs was barking. Okay, this was originally posted in r/dogs. Need help? Found a blind dog. So one of my dogs was barking up a storm. I go out and find her barking at another dog that is in one of our lakes. We get her in and get her calmed down, but then I notice, or at least think she is blind. If you look at her eyes, she doesn't really have pupils like my other dogs. She is super skittish. I had posted her on Facebook and looked through all of the local lost pet pages. We live in a small town, so the pound is closed until Monday. So it looks like this dog is going to be with us until Monday. By the way, this was posted 23rd of April 2023. I gave her a bath earlier because she had ticks crawling all over her. After her bath, I got some of the bigger ones that were stuck on her off. Now she's sleeping in my bed under a blanket surrounded by my other dogs and cats. How do I get this dog to trust me? When she was in the bath, I took it very slow. I gave her lots of pets and talked calmly to her while giving her the bath. After that, she seemed to trust me a little bit more. But if I move in to pet her, she kind of pulls away. I go in slow so she can sniff me and realize it's the same person. But I want her to feel safe for the time she is with me. Aw, this is so sweet and wholesome. We gotta end on a wholesome one. We gotta end on a wholesome one. Also, considering the fact of how many and how big the ticks were on her, I'm not sure how long she has been outside. She is pretty skinny and was really dirty. All that, plus the fact that nobody has posted about her being gone, makes me wonder if she has anyone looking for her. If she doesn't, she will go to the pound for the week, and if no one comes for her, she will be joining the family. Aww. So I will really need to know how to have her trust me after that. This will be the first dog with a disability that I've ever had to care for, so any help is appreciated. Thank you. Aww. That is so sweet! Okay. We've taken to calling her Sonar. I don't think she is completely blind. She doesn't have full vision, but she will follow the cats with her head as they run around. But I think that she is also mostly deaf. She doesn't respond to whistling or clapping or pretty much anything unless it's really loud. We are going to call the pound in the morning, give them all her info that we can, send them pictures, but we aren't going to take her in for the week stay like other dogs we found and ended up rescuing. She has already bonded with me so much I would hate for her to be scared and confused for a week if no one claims her. I don't think anyone is going to claim her, though. My mom posted her on all our local Facebook lost pet pages, and one person commented saying they saw her at the gas station 5 miles up the road, but they couldn't catch her, so I don't think anyone is actively looking for her. Plus, the fact that she isn't on any Facebook pet pages also tells me no one is looking for her. We live out in the country and people dump dogs all the time. One of our dogs is microchipped from a lady who lives 2 hours away. The vet called her and said, "We have your dog," and she said she didn't want her. Aw, people are evil. But we took Sonar, or Sony for short, to the pet store today, and got her a leash and harness. I don't think she has ever been walked before, but she took to it slowly but surely, and we got her a little stuffed cow, but she hasn't really shown much interest in that yet. Thank you for all of your replies. I haven't been able to respond to any of you, but I have read all your suggestions and will be doing everything I can to make sure this pup is happy and healthy. Aww. Okay, the first update is here, and it was posted a week later. Update, found a blind dog. So last week, one of my dogs found a dog in one of the gullies on my property. I thought she was blind, but she is only partially blind and almost completely deaf. We posted her all over Facebook. Nobody claimed her. Called both the local pounds and sent them pictures of her. Still no one claimed her. Someone commented on the Facebook post saying they saw her at the gas station 5 miles down the road, but they couldn't catch her. We decided to name her Sonar. We took her to the vet and got her all her shots and vaccines. Got her tested for heartworm. She was negative, thankfully. So we got her heartworm and flea and tick meds. We got all the ticks off her, gave her a nice long bath and some oatmeal shampoo, tried to brush her up. She was not a fan. The other day she went with me on an overnight road trip and she was great. When we got to the hotel, she loved it. She was jumping on the bed, jumping between the beds. I had to take the towels and cover up the mirror so she would stop staring at herself and growling. Since her eyes are a little messed up, it seemed like she doesn't want to walk in the bright sunlight, so we got her some little doggy goggles and a hat. She doesn't like either of those, though. She doesn't leave my side. Where I go, she goes. She's been on a leash all week. Yesterday I let her out without it on, and she didn't run off or even try to go anywhere where she couldn't see me. Aww, this is so sweet. Aw, this dog is now part of the pack. She will live the rest of her life being cared for and loved. She is sleeping next to me in the bed right now, snoozing her little head away. And then there's dog tacks. Ah! Hang on. You gotta see the dog. I gotta see this dog. Oh my god, he's so cute. She's so cute. Oh, I love her. Oh my god. Doggo. I'm saving her picture as Doggo. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna put that at the end of the video too. I'm gonna edit this and post this tomorrow. I love each and every one of you guys. Please don't forget to always be yourself. Um, you are valid. Don't forget to always be good to yourself and to others. And I will see all you guys in the next video. Bye. I'm glad we ended on a wholesome post.